I can hear you.
All right. Can you confirm that you can hear us now?
Yes, I can confirm I can hear you.
Very good.
I can hear you.
The question I'm asking is that why are senators dissatisfied with the outcome of the primary elections that were conducted? It is expected that when anyone goes into a contest, it is either you win or you lose, and whatever the outcome should be, it is expected that one would abide by the outcome of such kind of contest. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. And did you hear my question?
Yes, to a large extent, I can say yes. And the question is that why this gale of defection by the members of the National Assembly as a result of the fallout of the primary that was recently conducted by various political parties across the divide. To start with, I want to say that this is the time of the season where you have so many members of the National Assembly returning back to their constituency to seek the ticket for a return back to the National Assembly. But please let me quickly correct an impression. I am currently representing Lagos West Senatorial District. I'm not representing Ogun West for now. The process for me to represent Ogun West Senatorial District is still on. The election have not yet been conducted. And as well, I am not senator representing Ogun West, but Lagos West for now. So after the election, if God willing, I am elected by the people, then I can say I am senator-elect until the conclusion of the current administration. Then I can now say, yes, I am the senator representing Ogun. For now, I represent Lagos West. Then going back to your question, I want to say that this is the time of the season where people will go back home to seek for re-election into their constituency. And as you're all aware, during the consideration of the electoral bill, there are so many issues that came up. Then the kind of mode of primaries that should be used. Some, especially from the National Assembly, crave for direct primaries, while others says you cannot mandate or give a directive as to which mode of primary any political parties should use. So that dragged on for a while before we have to remove that clause that a party can use any mode of primary if so decide. And at the end of the day, our party, the All Progressive Congress, and also the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, the opposition party, decided to adopt the indirect kind of primaries. And to so many, they believe that if indirect was used, there will be so many influence on the delegate, and the delegates will listen to maybe the principal, the governors, or whatsoever that have supported them to be elected as delegates. On one of the other side, the direct primaries, it shows that it's a free-for-all. All card-carrying members of the political parties will be allowed to at least participate in the primaries. And after the conclusion of the primaries, so many of the National Assembly members believe that they were not allowed to return because of the influence and the mode of primaries that was adopted, and that alone leads to so many acrimony and misunderstanding. And they have no other choice than to look for a way where they can fulfill the ambition of returning back to the National Assembly. And to that extent, so many of them decided to defect, to vote from their own respective political party to another political parties of their choice. So it is the time of the season, and we agree with them. By the time all of this will have come and gone, at least Nigeria will still be there, the National Assembly will still be there, and the legislator to lead the country, the text assembly will also be elected across the divide, that is across the length and breadth of this country. So for me, I strongly believe that what is currently happening is not new. It is what, at least, especially when there is change of power and when there are attempts for us to return back to our various, to keep our various seats across the line. All this will happen, and I strongly feel that we will come out of this and will come out better and stronger at the end of the day.
Well, you say you come out stronger and better at the end of the day. Some people say it's a threat to the majority of the APC, and that these defections may help the opposition. What do you say?
Well, to a large extent, well, I would say yes. I want to somehow look at it, looking at the numbers of senators that have left the APC. As we speak, we are still 62 in numbers in terms of senators that are with the All Progressive Congress. So we are still in the majority. And if going by the list of senators who you agree with me that we have looked at the list, and those that are there currently are those majority of who have won the elections, and those who are decided to go for other offices like the governor or the states, and those who willingly agreed that they are not returning to the Senate. So with 62 senators, still hold the majority in the Senate and also in the House of Representatives. So there is still no cause for alarm. We agree with you. And also, for those who have defected, talk is currently ongoing with some of them to see how they return back to their party, and so that at least they will look for better, things to do in the coming future, and so that at least if the party eventually emerge or won the presidency again, a lot can still be accommodated in terms of various political appointments and so many more that can be done. So talks is currently ongoing, at least on the part of the leadership, on the part of the party, and also on the part of the presidential candidate of the party, who has engaged some of the senators last week, 2 days ago before leaving the country. He has spoken to some of them. He has assured them that at least it will be government of inclusiveness and there should be no cause for alarm. And I believe with all this effort here and there is no cause for alarm. APC will hold the leadership of the Senate and the majority in the Senate as we speak.
Senator Olamilekon, let's talk about your emergence as the winner of the APC senatorial district in Ogun West. So we understand that you emerged the victor, beating Senator Tolu Odebi by a landslide, and we also understand that a number of aggrieved party members have gone to court challenging your victory. So what's happening now?
Now, as you have rightly said, I won the primaries in the last primary election that was conducted in Ogun West. And this was not as a result of what comes just overnight. It has been an effort put together for over 15 years since I decided to return back to my roots. And I have done that vigorously with the support of God Almighty, the governor of the state, and all members of the party across the divide. And as you can see from the fallout of the primaries, I won convincingly. Out of 294 delegates, the entire 294 delegates decided to vote for me. That shows that I'm on ground, and that shows that I am the candidate to beat in the primaries. So for those who have gone to court, as I've said, this is the time of the season that everybody wants to engage in one activities or the other. But there is no local standing, because I don't want to go to the nitty-gritty of it, because the Electoral Act is clear that if you must go to court, you must be involved in the exercise or in the primaries and elections. So the basis of where they have gone to court, we don't know yet. But we are watching and we are looking. And the lawyers are reading and looking at all that is before them for those who have chosen to go to court. I don't want to discuss this process to the latter because the matter is already before a competent court of jurisdiction. So I just want to leave it at that. But what is there is that I won the primary and I won it convincingly. And my people are with me. My people are there all the way, and we are just preparing ourselves for the general election, which is ahead of us come February 2023, which by the grace of God, we believe that victory will be ours by the grace of God.
Well, distinguished Senator, a lot of people had described the Ninth Assembly as a rubber stamp. They had used that word several times. And they expect that the National Assembly should be able to, look the executive in the face in some of the areas that things may not be going the way they want. But it seems the National Assembly worked in a way that they see it as being in harmony with the executive. What do you say when you hear the Ninth National Assembly being called a rubber stamp?
Well, I don't know the definition of their so-called rubber stamp. I want to believe that National Assembly are made up of men and women who are distinguished Nigerians and who have the right to take their own position come before them. And I strongly believe that if supporting programs and policies of your party so that the party can bring about meaningful development to the country and contribute immensely to the development of our country and bring back the dividend of democracy to the people, is what they call rubber stamp. I don't have any apology to that because my party is in power and I must do everything to support my party to succeed. If timely passage of the budget is called rubber stamp, I don't have apology to that. If consideration of bills that will have direct impact on the people and passing it within the record time is what they call a rubber stamp, I don't have issues with that. And if matters of urgent public importance brought before us are considered and suggestions are made by way and solution towards that, is what they define as rubber stamp. I don't have apology to all of that. So I don't know what they call the so-called rubber stamp, because if what they are thinking is that we should always be at loggerhead with the executive so that Nigerians will see that we are antagonizing or fighting the executive is anything to go by, then I don't understand. Even in the developed democracies across the world, there are what we call the bipartisan, where both opposition and the majority party will come and agree on issues that is of national interest. What is currently happening in the United States as we speak on the issue of the gun control, you can see that they are bipartisan about it. There are speedy consideration of bills and it is being passed within a record time. So in this part of the world where we are still struggling with development, where we are still struggling in trying to ensure that our democracy has a sound footing in our country, I strongly believe and feel that the issue of rubber stamp should not come, but rather we should be seen as giving the maximum cooperation to the executive to bring about enough dividend of democracy to Nigeria. Because, for instance, like the committee I chair, which is the Committee on Finance, any document being given to us, we are allowed to go and look at it critically, dissect it, analyze it, and we will advise the Senate accordingly on what is before us. And also where there are areas which we should disagree with the executive, we do that. But most especially at the conference committee level, we engage them. They give us opportunity, give us reason, tell us why they are going this direction. And if we are satisfied genuine with it, we cannot act to the contrary. So I don't know the definition of the rubber stamp of the next National Assembly, but rather I want to say that they have done so much in trying to support this current administration to succeed. Area of security challenges, we have come together to even hold a security summit, put up suggestions and bring it before the executive to come. Because R is to suggest and to pass bills into law. Theirs is to execute whatever suggestion or bills that have been passed. So there are two different so working harmoniously together to do what is right for this nation. I don't call it rubber stamp. And it is not good for us as a nation to go that direction as of now, when we are still trying to ensure that our nascent democracy is see the light of the day, despite the current challenges that is currently confronting us as a nation. So I don't join that issue that United National Assembly is a rubber stamp National Assembly. I don't join that issue.
Okay, the NNPP and Labour are seen as renegade parties. How much of a threat do you think they are for the APC or even the PDP in the upcoming polls?
As I've said, I know they are trying to bring the third force, and I hope we are not having the fourth force now, because we're thinking that one of the political parties, Labour and NNPP, will come together to form one political party. But as it is, it is good for our democracy, and I strongly believe that they are bringing to the table what other two political parties are not bringing to the table. So they are welcome on board. But as it is, politics, it's about the spread, it's about the structure, it's about the people. And I believe that because if you go into the National Assembly now, I think the NNPP has one senator, Labour too has one senator, and the House of Reps, I don't know their numbers, but at least these are the structure that we should look at, that can at least start looking at the impact that they can bring to the other political party going forward. But they are welcome if they so choose to be the top force. And for the APC, I believe that with our presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are in the right step, in the right direction. And by the time the campaign starts, we'll see that the programs and policies are consolidating the achievement of this current administration. We also, and I don't know about the PDP, I don't know their agenda, I don't know their plans, but I believe and I strongly feel that it will be difficult for NNPP or the Labour Party to upstage the All Progressive Congress in the coming general election. So, to a large extent, we are prepared. Everybody's going to sell their manifesto to the people again. We are going to tell them and what we are capable of doing, what we are going to do, and how we're going to turn around some areas of challenges that have confronted us as a nation going forward. And I strongly feel that at least this time around, Nigeria is going to be voting not only for political party, but for the candidate that will be standing for that particular position, and most especially a tested and trusted candidate. And we all know the impact and what the candidate of the APC have done in the past, especially in turning around the fortune of the new Lagos, which we are currently enjoying length and breadth of this country. And I strongly feel that anybody looking at them, looking at the perspective that we are talking about Nigeria, and Lagos is meaning Nigeria, we all agree to that. And I believe that we are in good state, and we'll do our best to convince the people to go the way of the APC come 2023.
But how do you respond to people who inquire as to aren't you better off remaining representing the Lagos West constituents, where you have an appreciable level of popularity as against your foray to Ogun West, or better put, now your decision to go back to your roots?
Well, for whatever school of thought anybody has shared concerning what the position or decision I've taken, I want to thank them very much, because that shows that I have done so well while serving the people of Lagos West. And I want to appreciate them and thank them for the opportunity given for me to serve them. And as you all know, Lagos is for everybody. It's a level playing field. And I felt that serving my people in Ogun West is also not a bad idea. And the decision taken to go back home, I want to believe that is the right decision, and I have no regret about it. And I can assure you that the same level of support that I enjoy while serving in Lagos, I will enjoy it when I will be representing Ogun West in the Senate, in the 10th National Assembly. So, by and large, I'm happy. I'm in good state, and I'm focused. I'm looking ahead to the campaign ahead of me, and also to assure the good people of Lagos that yes, I am back home. I'm serving Ogun West, but I will also always be there at any point in time when they need my attention or my assistance going into the future. So I thank both the people of Lagos and also my people who have embraced and welcomed me back home to represent them come 2023, the general election.
All right. Can you basically, standing on that question, can you share with us your real reasons for switching bases from Lagos to Ogun State? Because Nigerians would like to know. You're one of the only senators, or one of the few senators, if I know my records well, to switch the base from one state to another. Senator Adeola, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Very good.
As I've said earlier on, as I've said earlier on, my decision to go back home is about my people, and I did a lot of wider consultation, both within Lagos and in Ogun, and also I want to say that there was no ulterior motive or major reason, but I just felt that I have done well and I'm okay. I was serving Lagos for so many years to say, okay, let me go back to my root and contribute my own quota towards the development of my people. And I want to thank Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want to thank the governor of Ogun State, Governor Dapo Abiodun, for all their support and for all their encouragement, at least for me to eventually go back to my roots, that is Yewawori. And I want to say that there is no regret, and the reason there's no ulterior motive, but the decision is just purely to represent and give back to my people where I actually come from. So to a large extent, I want to say no fundamental or main reason, but rather just the will to serve my people at this particular level.
But you've been saying serve your people, and that is fair, is valid, but isn't it a fact that you also have your eyes on the seat of governor of Ogun State?
Well, I don't want to talk about the future. I want to allow the future to talk about itself. But for now, I am here to represent the people of Ogun West after the 2023 general election, and going into the future of either the government. That is not a discussion before me for now. I want to strongly believe that what is currently before me is to stand for the 2023 general election, and with the support of the people, with the support of my governor, with the support of everybody, I pray and I wish I will come out victorious, and that's what much I can say for now.
I know that you are one of those who galvanized support for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the very fiery path to the nomination. Can you give us some hint about some of the intrigues and underhand plays that took place in the run-up to the nomination from your own point of view? Because I know that you are also a principal player.
Well, to a large extent, I want to say that there is no much on the hand or anything play that transpired. Rather than that, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did his own work very well, and also the delegates are convinced that at this point in time, he should be the one that should lead our party in the coming general election. And as you can see, that both length and breadth of this country where the delegates come from, all come together and vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is why you could see the election that is landslide. And you know, he has been there. He is one of the founding fathers of this great party. He's the national leader of this great party. And for all its work and for all he has done in the past, I believe this is one way to say thank you for your contribution towards the development of this party from opposition to now government in power, for all he has done in conjunction with President Muhammadu Buhari and other relevant stakeholders of our great party. So if he has emerged victorious at the primaries, it shows his level of contribution, it shows his doggedness, how his fighting spirit, and what he has put in to work over the years coming together to give him victory in the last election. There's no doubt about that. A lot of us that came out to support him knows that he has done so much to deserve to be the one to represent the All Progressive Congress as the presidential candidate of our party. So, by and large, I want to say that we should rather thank the delegates, because we might do so much on our current work and the delegates get there and do otherwise. So we should rather thank all the delegates across the divide who has come together to elect him as the presidential candidate of our great party, and those who have worked behind the scene to see that this come to pass. So, to a large extent, I believe that it is a well-deserving victory. He has done so much for the party. He has done so much for the country from behind the scene, and he has supported the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari from behind the scene over the years. So it's well deserving. We congratulate him, and we are telling him that that is just the beginning, because we are prepared and ready to go again for the big one, which is the general election come February 2023.
Now, could you please also just give us a sense of all the reconciliation moves going on within the party, especially in the Southwest, in the aftermath of the nomination?
Well, I want to say that the All Progressive Congress for now across the divide are coming together more than ever before. For instance, in the Southwest, I know, for instance, that hardly will you see anybody from the APC who is saying anything different. Everybody is united more than ever, looking at that. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is our presidential candidate, and we must deliver him in the forthcoming general election. So we are doing that. And also the candidate himself is doing a lot in trying to reach out to so many people. As you can see, he has visited all the other presidential aspirants that contested with him. He has moved from length and breadth. He has visited them. He has at least said thank you and also thanked them for their word of encouragement. And they've all agreed. And they have been speaking out that they will come out and deliver their states to him. Ben Ayade from Cross River, Umahi from Yeboy, and the Roshas, Okorochas, and everybody of this world are already talking that we are delivering for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that is a sign of reconciliation and also coming together of the All Progressive Congress. So for the Southwest, as we can see, there is no major issue there. All relevant issues that are there, it's not as a result of the presidential candidate. It should be at the state level, and I believe that we are working around the clock to ensure that areas where there are challenges in some of those states, we are looking into it and see ways by which we can foster peace, harmony, and also to unite everybody together so that we can come out strongly in the forthcoming general election. For Southwest, Southwest is solid and is ready to go all the way for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That I can assure you. So the reconciliation is still ongoing. At the party level, reconciliation is going, and also in other states of the federation, the party at the national level is trying to engage the governor and some of their representatives and those who are aggrieved across the party divide to ensure that we have a common ground for us to see reason why we should bury our hatchet and allow us to go into this forthcoming election as a one big, indivisible political party in 2023.
Senator Olamileko, let's quickly talk about your position in the Senate, heading, call it sensitive, call it powerful, but you are the chairman of the Finance Committee at this ninth assembly of the Senate. You've been quoted several times as more or less validating Nigeria's loan status, foreign debt status, saying these are essential for development of infrastructure in the country. But now there are speculations and indeed fears that the country is broke as a result of its high debt level. What's your response to that?
Let me thank you very much for going into the activities of my committee as the chairman, Senate Committee on Finance. I want to say that first and foremost, there is no doubt about the fact that the country, there are challenges currently before the country, I want to say that if the country is broke, the country is not broke as a result of the debt profile rising or anything, but because there are all other sensitive issues surrounding that which must be addressed, like the issue of insecurity in the country. This is one major issue that should be addressed so that we can bring in foreign direct investment into the nation. And I strongly feel that if we can address that, we will be better and be stronger. But looking at the issue of the foreign debt of this nation, we are guided. And we are guided by no other thing than the Fiscal Responsibility Act, and which gives the threshold in which the borrowing must be to the GDP, which stood at 3%. And also there are provisos that in case there are emergency, in case there are issues, we can exceed that threshold. And you quite agree with me that there are emergencies and there are issues. There is the issue of insecurity across the divide. And as such, the issue of borrowing more is not something that
all right, distinguished Senator.
Because
yes, we unfortunately we don't have all the time anymore, but we thank you sincerely for your time with us today, taking us through all of the issues we've discussed. We really appreciate your coming. And we know that going forward, we certainly will have more time to discuss further things with you as we get along. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you very much.
But once again, thank you for having me, and I can assure you that I will be readily available at any point in time you need my service.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
that,
Thank you.